Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the worst reviews ever. Today it's just me and Amazing up in here. Gonna do the movie review for 1992. So before we jump in there, how you doing today, Amazing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Got the crazy colors, Christmas tree. All right, I see you. All festive. You ready for Christmas?
Yep.
All right, but we'll go ahead. We'll jump into the review. So let me pull up the slides real quick. So again, we're doing a review on 1992. So 1992 is a 2024 American heist thriller film directed by Ariel Roman and written by Sasha Penn and Roman from a story by Penn. So the plot of this movie is a shoe shopkeeper must save his son from an angry mob during the 1992 LA uprising after the Rodney King verdict. So, all right, let me go to the directors and producers. So, again, directed by Ariel Rahman, produced by Ariel Rahman, Maurice Fadida, Adam Kolbrenner, Sasha Penn, and Andreas Rommel. So, the cast for this movie Tyrese Gibson as Mercer, Scott Eastwood as Riggin Bigby, Ray Liotta as Lau, Michael Beasley as Joseph, Christopher Emmanuel as Anton King, Dylan Arnold as Dennis, Ori Pfeiffer as Murphy, and Olgig as Titus. So, all right, you know how we do it. Amazing. What's your rating for this movie?
I'm gonna give it. So I had to be open minded. I just had to put in a little comment because I thought the movie was very, very good. But every time I seen Tyrese trying to be hard, it would bring me flashbacks of like recent drama he's had this last year, and I just could not get past that. So if I took the recent clips I've seen of my guy Tyrese the last year, I'd give it an 8.
Damn.
So with no bias, I'll give it an 8. I thought it was very good. But with those flashbacks always just hitting me, I literally got to go down to like 6.
So you give it a 6.
I'm gonna go with, yeah, I have to. Like if it
Okay.
wasn't for those video clips that Tyrese, I'm sorry, you know what I'm talking about. You would have been it would have been a solid 8. So if you haven't seen the Tyrese clips, don't ruin yourself. It's a solid 8 movie. Once you see them, you'll know what I'm talking about. You won't get past it. It'll be a solid 6.
Okay. So you got it between average and good. And I might have to give it a 7.2 for my rating, which is in a very good territory. So okay. So let me jump into the movie rating question. So I'll go ahead and go first on this one. So my rating again is 7.2. And why did I give it that rating? I liked the overall like plot and the storyline because I like how they mixed in the LA riots, which made it very realistic. So you got to see how that played out because I did grow up around this time frame, but I was in a whole totally different region. So I knew like the riots was bad, but I like how they captured it. I didn't realize it was that wild out there. So I like how they covered that. I like how they had the dynamic of him trying to salvage the relationship with his son. Him coming out of prison. So I like how they had that dynamic. I like how the Ray Liotta was like a bad father, so he had those dynamics with his kids playing out. And then one of the best. Would I recommend this movie to anyone? Yes, I would. But now going to the plot and the storyline, I really like how they did the storyline and the plot mixed in, like I said, with the historical events. But one of the major things that I liked about it was the fact that they made these criminals kind of like dumb as shit. As far as like when they try to rob that one little factory and stuff. Because typically, we're used to seeing like Oceans 11 and 12 where they pull off like all these major heists. It's all well thought out. Even that Kevin Hart movie we saw where that just came out where he did the whole heist and he was all like this brainiac that could pull off all these schemes. So we're so used to seeing those type of things. Italian Job, where everything just works out. Where I think this one was like very realistic. Because I think typically if you get some people together, it's like a bunch of stuff is going to go wrong. So even from the beginning, the guy's leg got smashed. That happened, and then they started doing everything wrong where it just spiraled out of control and nobody ended up with the money in the end because it was just like people started going against each other. They were hard headed because that's what happens when you just pull a crew together. So I think I like the way how they captured that, where it was just over the top, like, oh, we're gonna pull everything off, everything's gonna go down smoothly. A couple of hiccups, it was like, nah, that shit was like chaos from the jump. So I think they did an excellent job with the plot and the storyline, mixing it into like current events and even showing the dynamics of family. Like I said, Ray Liotta's family was a mess. Tyrese had a bad relationship with his son and stuff, and it showed like those whole dynamics. So I like how they intertwined all that stuff together. So some of the scenes that stuck out, like I said, when the guy's leg got captured, that was kind of gross. And then they did an excellent job of like how everything escalated in the warehouse where, Tyrese was going after them, and even the one guy's son started helping him out a little bit, because after they got his son. So I like how a lot of those scenes kind of tied in. So there was a really one major scene that stuck out because it was like sequence where it was like an action movie that followed all the way through. So I think they did a good job of like carrying everything from scene to scene. So if I was the director or the producer of this movie, what would I change or do differently? I wouldn't change anything with the movie because, like I said, I think it flowed great. And then it was specific for that timeline, which I thought was a good touch because it happened in the past, and I think they did a good job like starting off their heist as far as like, what, let's go now because everybody's these riots are going on. This is a prime time. So it's just like they just acted off an impulse. There was no planning. So I think I wouldn't change nothing because it just the way it happened. And like I said, you throw some dumb criminals together, this is what you're gonna get. So I think it was brilliant how they kind of played it out, where it wasn't like over the top, they're hijacking planes and shit. They literally went to a warehouse, try to like steal some stuff and screw that up. So I liked how it all flowed together. So all right, amazing. I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, so I guess I already kind of gave a little tidbit on why my rating was what my rating
Yeah.
was. I definitely would recommend the movie to people. Again, I like Tyrese. I've liked him as an actor. I've liked him as an R&B singer. It's just now that he tries to play these tough roles, I just get like these flashbacks in my head of crocodile tears for nonsense, and I'm just like, ah. I also agree. I thought the plot and the storyline was excellent. And to even think about like those riots and even like the different riots we've had over the last, several years right now on, it really would be the perfect time if you're going to jack something, which I'd never thought of before. But I mean, if you're a criminal, that's the perfect time to do it.
So you're giving pointers out to people.
That was good. I also really liked, I thought the producer did a really excellent job at kind of giving backgrounds on each of the characters and then also building the specific characters up. Like you had the brother relationship, and I cannot think of their names. I thought I wrote it down, but maybe not. Dennis, I guess that was kind of the brother that was more kind of timid, and the other brother that was more of the criminal piece. But like you really liked both of them. You felt really I felt bad for them with Ray Liotta as the father, which I think is probably like the most excellent criminal bad guy of all time in movies. He just does that. I can't imagine him being a nice character, honestly, which I know he passed and I think the movie was dedicated to him, but it would be the same as watching him. It just like that shift in role. Like that's just like, I would be nervous to see him on the street. Like, I feel like he just has like that scariness about him because of all the movies he's done. He's just like the super scary bad guy of all time. So I think they just played each of the characters so well. Like even you had mentioned the friend of them, of the criminal, like the criminals, where when he had, was like, just take my leg. But you even felt bad for him, I think, when it did, like kind of going back to his pregnant wife or fiance or whatever she was. So, I mean, they just gave you enough of each character to make you really like them. with Tyrese's character making him kind of like, this is a second chance for him. He got out of prison. He's trying to build that relationship. I think it was maybe the boy's mom died or the grandma died. I think that's how he ended up with him, if I remember right. But it really made you kind of root for Tyrese, and then to see him and his son's relationship, and you can even understand kind of how that's just not good. And Tyrese is trying to steer him into a different life direction because he had just got out of prison. But they also gave you enough of scenes to let you know, like, Tyrese was like that guy in that hood where people weren't going to mess with him. So I thought the one scene that stood out as far as Tyrese is when I'm trying to think in the gas station, if the gas station was getting jacked or the young kind of thugs were just being really nasty to the workers, and Tyrese stepped in and they started getting mouthy. And then the other guys came in and was like, do you know who that is? Like, he's like the original OG, this neighborhood. And, so you knew people were scared of him.
You sounded hella white when you said that.
Oh, wait. Oh, well. I don't know what like politically correct terms I can say or not.
They said he was the triple OG in that neighborhood.
I said original, I'm sure. Anyways. But that gave you a background of who he was, and people were scared of him. But then I think it showed where it kind of showed like the turnaround is when he went out to look for his son, found his son, got him in the car. The son, he's pouting, he's all upset and everything. And then they actually he saves that white couple that was in the vehicle. So I think it kind of, it showed a turnaround of, okay, this guy was like this thug in the neighborhood, went to prison, was known to be like, no mercy. And then he saves this white couple who ended up that they were getting robbed or, whatever. And I thought it was neat how they showed like how the son took all of that in. Even the security guard it's like you felt bad when the security guard got killed because he was like rooting for Tyrese's character Mercer and trying to help him out, and they had a good relationship. So I think overall the producer just did such a good job with building up like every single character in the movie. It wasn't like overpowering, but it was just enough build up and relationship building between each of the different characters just to make it all flow really well. I also agree that scene when they took the leg, that was crazy. And then when Ray Liotta just ended up like the guy was screaming in pain and stuff, and he was just like sick of this guy and just popped him out of nowhere. And the son was like, what the heck? And I mean, it just showed you how ruthless he was from the very, very beginning to the end when he is literally chasing down his own sons to take them out to get that money. So I thought that was good. You want to say something?
Yeah, no, I like how you pointed that out because he was just ruthless because like the one guy that lost his leg, that was their good friend and stuff. And it's like he knew that too. So he was just like, you know what, like you said, went and popped him and stuff. And then that scene at the end where he's like chasing his old sons too, he was like a whole nother level of ruthless. He was like, hey, y'all my kids, but oh well, y'all disposable. So I'm glad you pointed it.
Yeah, he was just like, man. And then the other thing that I just thought was super interesting was that Tyrese and his son then are literally the only people that survive out of all of that.
Yeah.
So I thought everything was super good overall. Again, I'm just like, oh, Tyrese, why'd you have to do it to me?
You said my man gotta stop crying about here in these YouTube streets, huh? Just
yes.
No, because he's a good actor, man. Yeah.
I don't have anything against crying men, but when it was his issue that he was crying about, that just killed me. Mm-hmm. But he is an excellent actor, and I think I'm trying to think of course, I've seen him in the Fast and Furious, which I like those movies as well. I was trying to think. There was one movie, maybe not. I don't
Baby
remember him
boy.
being like, I was gonna say a super main character, Baby Boy. I was trying to think though, where has he been in any where he was like really like the legit main character? I wasn't thinking of any offhand, but I thought he did it. I mean, he is a good actor. I have to give him that. Maybe the video. I might just pretend like that video I seen of him was him
Okay,
acting.
okay.
That might make me feel better.
All right. So if you're the director or producer, would you change any scenes or you keep it the same?
I don't think I would change anything. I think they did a good job of mixing in real life stuff. I did like even your point about kind of like the dumb criminals, because even if you remember, Ray Liotta's character did not want to do that heist in the beginning because he was like, this is too much, it's too much for us. But then he decided, oh wait, we can take advantage of this riot situation with everything
Yeah, he
going
showed up with his
on.
whole crew in there. He was like, look, meet so and so. That's what I'm saying. It was just like the perfect storm for like stupidity.
Yep. And greed, because it was like, oh, we're going to do this one, we're going to get these millions of dollars, and that's it for us. Knowing they were small time criminals. So, but yeah, I don't think I would change anything. I think it was a good movie. I definitely watch it again.
All right. So would you change it? You gonna change your score? Stay the same? You going up or down?
Yeah, I got to say the same just for that one reason.
Okay, so you staying at a 6? Yeah, I'm gonna stay at a 7.2. So I had it at very, very good. So all right. But yeah, definitely check the movie out, man. I think I don't know what their budget was, so it don't look like it was the highest budget, but I think it was a good movie overall. Like just the time that the movie was, how they showed the LA riots, and I like the fact that the criminals weren't the brightest. I like how they did show that, so I thought that was brilliant. But anything else from you?
No, like I said, it would. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's gonna be a solid 8 for you. So watch it. Don't Google what I told you. That's all I got. Watch what you put online. It'll come back.
All right. Yeah. Don't check that out. But all right, y'all. Keep tuning in, and we'll keep doing these movie reviews. All right, y'all. Peace.